ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। We welcome all devotees for today evening's Krishna book reading from chapter 47, Deliverance of Message of Lord Shri Krishna to the Gopis. So, yesterday, कल हमने देखा the भ्रमर गीत बम्बल, the song of Bumblebee जो राधा रानी गाते हैं कृष्ण के लिए, वो सॉन्ग कंप्लीट होने के बाद नाउ हाउ द उद्धवा जो वहीं पे खड़े थे उनका क्या रिएक्शन होता है, और ये अध्याय का जो अंतिम भाग है वो हम लोग आज इसके ऊपर रीडिंग करेंगे. सो आई विल रीड 2 paragraphs and then turn by turn devotees can read 2 paragraphs. So we have, okay, Rishikesh Prabhu and Rohan Prabhu. So Rishikesh Prabhu, after that Rohan Prabhu can read. वॉइस ब्रेक होता है. ओह, अच्छा. ओके, लेट मी चेक. Let me just check my internet connection. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Is it audible now? Is it clear to all devotees?
Between it is breaking, Prabhu.
थोड़ा जोर से बोलेंगे, आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. मेरी आवाज आ रही है अभी आप लोगों को?
Now it is coming, Prabhu.
Okay, it's coming. Okay, then we'll proceed. Um, I think more devotees have joined. So what we'll do, we'll read one paragraph. So I will start, and then Rishikesh Prabhu, and then Rohan Prabhu. Uddhava was standing near, and he heard Radharani talking in this way, as if she had become almost mad for Krishna. He was exceedingly surprised at how the gopis were accustomed to thinking of Krishna constantly in that topmost ecstasy of Mahabhav love. He had brought a message in writing from Krishna, and now he wanted to present it before the gopis, just to pacify them. He said, "My dear gopis, your mission of human life is now successful. You are all wonderful devotees of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you are eligible to worship, to be worshipped by all kinds of people. You are worshipable throughout the three worlds because your minds are wonderfully absorbed in the thoughts of Vasudev, Krishna. He is the goal of all past activities and ritualistic performances, such as giving charity, rigidly following the austerity of vows, undergoing severe penances, and igniting the fire of sacrifice. He is the purpose behind chanting different mantras, reading the Vedas, controlling the senses, and concentrating the mind in meditation. These are some of the many different processes for self-realization and attainment of perfection of life. But actually, they are meant only for realizing Krishna and doubting oneself in the transcendental loving service of Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the last instruction of Bhagavad Gita also. Although there are descriptions of different processes of self-realization, at the end, Krishna recommends that one give up everything and simply surrender unto him. All other processes are meant for teaching one how to surrender ultimately unto the lotus feet of Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita also says that this surrendering process is completed by a sincere person after executing the process of self realization in wisdom and austerity for many births. Okay, so Rishikesh Prabhu, you can read next two paragraphs and then Rohan Prabhu can read.
Since the perfection of such a austerity was completely manifested in the lives of Gopis, Uddhava was fully satisfied. Upon seeing their transcendental position, he continued, my dear Gopis, the mentality you have developed in relationship with Krishna is very, very difficult to attain. Even for great sages and saintly persons, you have attained the highest perfection stage of life. It is a great boon for you that you have fixed your minds upon Krishna and have decided to have Krishna only, giving up your families, homes, relatives, husbands, and children for the sake of the supreme personality, because your minds are now fully absorbed in Krishna. The supreme soul, universal love, has automatically developed in you. I think myself very fortunate that I have been favored by your grace to see you in this situation. When Uddhava said that he had a message from Krishna, the gopis were more interested in hearing the message than in hearing about their exalted position. They did not very much like being praised for their high position. They showed their anxiety to hear the message Uddhava had brought from Krishna. Uddhava said, my dear Gopis, I am especially de- deputed to carry this message to you who are such great and gentle devotees. Krishna has specifically sent me to you be- because I am his most confidential ser- servitor.
Thank you. Yeah, so Rohan Prabhu, you can read next two paragraphs.
Yes, Uddhava did not deliver the gopis the written message brought from Krishna, but he personally read it to them. The message was very gravely written so that not only the gopis but all empiric philosophers might understand how pure love of God is intrinsically integrated with all the different energies of the Supreme Lord. From Vedic information, it is understood that the Supreme Lord has multi energies. Parasya Shaktir Vidivaiva Shruyate. Also, the gopis were such intimate personal friends of Krishna that while he was writing the message for them, he was so moved that he could not write distinctly. Uddhava, as a student of Brahaspati, had very sharp intelligence. So instead of handling over the written message, he thought it wise to read it personally and explain it to them. Uddhava continued, these are the words of the personality of Godhead. My dear gopis, dear friends, please know that separation between ourselves is impossible at any time, at any place, or under any circumstances because I am all pervading.
Thank you. Okay, let me see who else are there. Hmm. So Dhruv Prabhu can read. I mean Dhruv Sharma Prabhu. Then Prashant Prabhu can be ready.
This all pervasiveness of Krishna is explained in Bhagavad Gita in both the ninth and seventh chapter. In the ninth chapter, Krishna is described as all pervasive in his info feature. Everything rests in him, but he is not personally present everywhere. And in the seventh chapter, it is stated that the five gross elements earth, water, fire, air, and sky and the three subtle elements, mind, intelligence, and ego, are all his inferior energies. But there is another superior energy which is called as living entity. The living entity are also directly part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is both the material and efficient cause of everything. He is always intermingled with everything, cause and effect. Not only the Gopis, but all living entities are always inseparably connected with Krishna in all circumstances. The Gopis, however, are perfectly enthralled in cognition of the relationship with Krishna, whereas the living entity under the spell of Maya, the illusionary energy, are forgetful of Krishna and think themselves separate identities having no connection with him.
You can read one more paragraph.
मैं पढ़ूं प्रभु जी?
Yes, Prashant Prabhu, you can read, no problem.
Love of Krishna or Krishna consciousness is therefore the perfection of real knowledge. In understanding things as they are, our minds can never be vacant. The mind is constantly occupied with some kind of thought, and the subject matter of such thought cannot be outside the eight elements of Krishna's energy. One who knows this philosophical aspect of all thoughts is actually a wise man, and he surrenders on to Krishna. The gopis are the epitome of this perfectional stage of knowledge. They are not they are not simple mental speculators. Their minds are always in Krishna. The mind is nothing but the energy of Krishna. Actually, any person who can think, feel, and will cannot be separated from Krishna. But the stage in which he can understand his eternal relationship with Krishna is called Krishna consciousness. This disease, the disease condition in which cannot understand his eternal relationship with Krishna is the contaminated stage or Maya. Since the gopis are on the platform of pure transcendental knowledge, their mind are always filled with Krishna consciousness. For example, as there is no separation between fire and air, there is no separation between Krishna and the living entities. When the living entities forget Krishna, they are not in their normal condition. As for the gopis, because they are always thinking of Krishna, they are on the absolute stage of perfection in knowledge. The so-called empiric philosophers sometimes thinks that the path of bhakti is meant for the less intelligent. But unless the so-called man of knowledge comes to the perform of bhakti, his knowledge is certainly impure and imperfect. Actually, the stage of forgetfulness of our eternal relationship with Krishna is separation. That is also illusionary because there is no such separation. The gopis were not situated in the illusionary condition of life, so even for the philosophical point of view, for them there was no separation.
Thank you. Aman Prabhu can read. After Aman Prabhu, um, we have Sahil Prabhu. Sahil Prabhu can read, and then Aditya Prabhu can read.
Uddhava continued reading Krishna's message. Nothing is separate from me. The whole cosmic manifestation is resting on me and is not separate from me. Before the creation, I was existing. This is confirmed in the Vedic literature. Eko vai Narayana Ashinna Brahmana Nishana. Before creation, there was only Narayan. There was no Brahma and no Shiva. The whole cosmic manifestation is manipulated by the three modes of material nature. It is said that Brahma, the incarnations of the quality of passion, created this universe, but Brahma is the secondary creator. The original creator is Narayana. This is confirmed by Shankaracharya. Narayana Paro Vyaktat. Narayan is transcendental, beyond this cosmic creation. In this way, nothing within the cosmic manifestation is separate from Krishna, although Krishna, original form, is not visible in everything.
Sahil Prabhu.
आगे पढ़ें.
Yes, Prabhuji. Krishna creates, maintains, and annihilates the whole cosmic manifestation by expanding himself in different incarnations. Everything is Krishna and everything depends on Krishna, but he is not perceived in the material energy, and therefore it is called Maya or illusion. In the spiritual energy, however, Krishna is perceived at every step, in all circumstances. This perfectional stage of understanding is represented by the Gopīs. As Krishna is always aloof from the cosmic manifestation, although it is completely dependent on him. So, a living entity is also completely aloof from his material conditioned life, although the material body has developed on the basis of spiritual existence. In the Bhagavad Gita, the whole cosmic manifestation is accepted as the mother of the living entities, and Krishna is the father. As the father impregnates the mother by injecting the living entity within the womb, Krishna injects all the living entities into the womb of the material nature. They come out in different bodies according to their different fruitive activities, but in all circumstances, the living entity is aloof from this material conditioned life.
Thank you. Aditya Prabhu, and then Tejas Prabhu can be ready.
If we simply study our own bodies, we can understand how a living entity is always aloof from this bodily engagement. Every action of the body takes place by the interactions of the three modes of material nature. We can see at every movement many changes taking place in our body, but the spirit soul is aloof from all changes. One can neither create nor annihilate nor interfere with the actions of material nature. The living entity is therefore entrapped by the material body and conditioned in three stages, namely while awake, asleep, and unconscious. The mind acts together throughout all three conditions of life. The living entity in his sleeping or dreaming condition sees something as real, and when awake he sees the same thing as unreal. It is concluded therefore that under certain circumstances he accepts something as real, and under other circumstances he accepts the very same thing as unreal. These matters are the subject of study for the empiric philosopher of Sankhya Yoga uh, or the Sankhya Yoga. To come to the right conclusion, Sankhya yogis undergo severities, austerities, and penances, practicing control of the senses and renunciation.
Thank you. Tejas Prabhu.
All these different ways of determining the ultimate goal of life are compared to rivers, and Krishna is compared to ocean. As the rivers flow down towards the ocean, all attempts for knowledge flow towards Krishna.
And
After many births of endeavor, when one actually comes to Krishna, he attains the perfectional stage. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kleshodikataras avyaktasakta. All are pursuing the path of realizing me, but those who have adopted courses without any bhakti find their endeavor very troublesome. Krishna cannot be understood unless three paths are initiated in Bhagavad Gita: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Those who are too much addicted to the fruitive activities are advised to perform actions which will bring them to bhakti. Those who are addicted to pursue the empiric philosophy are also advised to act in such a way that they will realize bhakti. Karma is different. Karma Yoga is different, therefore. Karma Yoga is therefore different from ordinary karma, and Jnana Yoga is different from ordinary Jnana. Ultimately, as stated by Lord in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Only through execution of devotional service can one understand Krishna. The perfectional stage of devotional service was achieved by the Gopis because they did not care to know anything but Krishna. It is confirmed in the Vedas. Kasminu bhagavato vijnane sarvam idam vijnatam bhagavati. This means that simply by knowing Krishna, one automatically acquires all the knowledge.
Thank you. I will just check if somebody else is remaining. Okay, we have covered everyone. So, okay, so I will read last two paragraphs. I mean, it's a long chapter, and then we'll stop for today. Uddhava continued, reading Krishna's message. Transcendental knowledge of Absolute is no longer necessary for you. You were accustomed to loving me from the very beginning of your lives. Knowledge of the Absolute Truth is specifically required for persons who want liberation from material existence. But one who has attained love for Krishna is already on the platform of liberation. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, anyone engaged in unavowed devotion service is to be considered situated on the transcendental platform of liberation. The Gopis did not actually feel any pangs of material existence, but they felt separation of Krishna. Krishna therefore said, my dear Gopis, to increase your super excellent love for me, I have purposely separated myself from you so that you may be in constant meditation on me. The Gopis are in the perfectional stage of meditation. Yogis are generally more fond of meditating than of executing devotion service to the Lord. But they don't know that the perfection of yoga system is attainment of devotion. This constant meditation on Krishna by Gopis is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita to be the topmost yoga. Krishna knew very well psychology of women. When a woman's beloved is away, she thinks of him more in meditation than when he is present before her. Krishna wanted to teach through the behavior of the Gopis that one who is constantly in trance, like the Gopis, surely attains his lotus feet. Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are concluding early today because actually we started late. I was having worship seva, so I got late. And tomorrow we'll start on time at 8:30 sharp. So in half an hour we can cover more pages. So today we had Aditya Prabhu, Aman Prabhu, Dhruv Prabhu, Rishikesh Prabhu, Prashant Prabhu, Rohan Prabhu, Sahil Prabhu, and Tejas Prabhu. So please request your roommates to join for this evening book reading because now we are not having morning class for next couple of weeks. So all devotees should join this, especially inmates, for our personal nourishment. Again tomorrow morning after 7:15, we request all devotees to be ready with your books and bags, and we will go out for book distribution. And 8:15, 8:30 will come back. So I think they will prepare Ekadashi Prasadam in breakfast because fast breaking time is at 10:30. So we'll arrange whatever is there.